Coach Carlene Mitchell, who'd like to start it off with our student athletes.
Scott Cottis from the Astoria Review Times. Emily just was doing some homework on you guys, and I noticed one of your favorite movies, Miracle. Is it time to watch it?
Yes, I actually watched it the other day. My roommate Kelsey's on the team, and she was making fun of me for watching it again because it's my favorite movie, and it's just inspiration for us being a 16th seed.
Columbus Dispatch. There we are. Just basically, AAU makes that women's basketball kind of a small world. Have either of you played against Odyssey Sims or Brittany Griner before? Do you know them? Will this be your first opportunity to be on the court with either one of them?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, I've not either.
Well, can I ask them, what are your impressions of the two of them from what you have been able to see?
Well, they're obviously both really great players, and we're just enjoying the opportunity to get to play against a good team and also show them what we have.
Yeah, we're just excited for this opportunity and really the challenge. I know both Tillman and I are competitors, and we're excited to go out there and compete and hold our own.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Tribune Herald, Kirsten over here. I'm sure you've probably been asked this a few times this week, but how in the world do you attempt to guard Brittany Griner?
Well, I mean, every player has their weaknesses and their strengths, and I think that just going in with a lot of confidence and trying to do what I do best, which is maybe a little bit more physical, and I've never been the tallest player on the court, even in high school, so I try to use my body well and then anticipate what the other player's doing, and I think it will just be a lot of fun, and as playing defense as a team as well will help a lot.
Person, Wendell Barnhouse, BigProSports.com. I understand Coach brought in somebody from the men's team that was like 7'2". Is that correct? I don't know, I read that. I can't believe what you read on the internet.
I think our men's team was out of town when we found that out, but we were definitely thinking that size, yeah.
So the internet, once again, has failed you.
Never believe what you read.
Thank you very much. Let me ask, who's the tallest player you've gone up against?
I'm not sure. Probably maybe Jana Pell, possibly from Stanford. On this team, I don't know, probably 6'4".
For both of the players, noticed you guys were 8-13 at one time this season, and it couldn't have been a lot of fun with 4 straight losses. What turned it around? Was it a mental thing, a strategic thing? Where?
I think it was just we didn't stop believing, and most importantly, we didn't stop working hard. Coach challenged us every day in practice, regardless of our record, and she pushed us because she believed in us also, and that's what brought us here today, and we peaked at the right time, and just most importantly, we believed.
Yeah, and I mean, what we're doing today has not changed since what we did from day one, paying attention to the details, playing hard on defense, and working together as a team. It's just, I think, now at this point in the season, everything's falling together at the same time. Before, the little pieces would work, and now we're where we want to be.
Emily, the Baylor people were talking about how far they had to come to get to Bowling Green, Ohio. You guys came pretty much farther, I guess, than Bowling Green, Ohio. But being an underdog, do you think, in an arena that's supposed to be filled tomorrow, you think you have a chance to have some people start getting behind you?
Of course, yeah, we love the challenge. I think this year has prepared us for this moment because we have been the underdog all season in the Big West, which isn't a position that the Gauchos are used to. So just being an underdog and being the hunters and not the hunted has prepared us all this year just to just keep fighting and just have a mentality of never giving up, a mental toughness to us, an edge, a fight, and we're going to bring that to the court tomorrow.
Let's go with John Wagner next.
Ladies, John Wagner from the Toledo Blade. Will you talk a little bit about the actual physical travel, how you got here, and then just talk a little bit about being in this circumstance right now?
Well, being in Santa Barbara, we actually bussed down to a bigger airport in LA and then all got on a plane, and I think it was about a 4-hour ride, and flew into Toledo and then drove to our place. So it was long, and then with the time change, you know, we left at 8:30 in the morning Santa Barbara time, and we didn't get to our hotel till, I don't know, like 9 or something. But we're ready, and yeah, every team travels. I think it's incredibly exciting.
Yeah, I think it adds to the excitement. I feel adjusted to the time change and ready to go, and I think just adrenaline of March Madness is what's inspiring us right now.
Have you thought about the fact that if you hang around long enough in this game, you might get the crowd behind you a little bit? I mean, you pull up upsets or too big with yesterday. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, definitely. We want to show what this Gaucho team is made of, and we know we have a lot of heart in us. There's something called Gaucho heart, Gaucho back, and we want to show that tomorrow.
Emily Wendell, Barnhouse, BigFloSports.com. Two things kind of along those lines. I think the internet would back me up that there were 2 big upsets yesterday in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
The fact that that happened, when you see that, does that give you a little bit more, hey, you know, it is March Madness, anything can happen. And I also wanted to ask you about Miracle, if your favorite scene is the coach's speech right before they go out to play the Russians.
What was the second question? Sorry.
The second question is your favorite scene in Miracle the coach's speech right before they go out to play the Russians?
Yes, definitely. Great moments are born with great opportunities. First question. Yeah, that definitely gives us a lot of hope, and it's so exciting this time of month, just being in the hotel and just passing by TV, and basketball is everywhere. We're athletes, we love basketball, and it's just a great time of month and a great time of year, and we're just excited to be one of 64. And of course, that scene gets me fired up, and we're excited for this opportunity.
Emily, you mentioned, you know, the excitement of March Madness and everything, but is it hard not to get overwhelmed by this stage? I mean, not the stage physically that you're on right now, but, you know, going up against #1 in the country, 34-0, all of that.
I don't think it's overwhelming. I think it's just exciting and just adds more just adrenaline to be a part of this March Madness, because we're one of 64, and whether we're #1, number 30, number 64, we're still in this tournament and we're coming to compete.
Emily, Jack Carl from the Sentinel here in town. If you want to really be inspired, you should go over to the ice arena, because there were 2 Bowling Green Falcons on that 1980 hockey team.
Okay.
And their banners
Good
are
to
up.
know.
Their banners are up over there, honored with their gold medals. So Ken Morrow and Mark Wells, next time you watch the movie, both of them went to Bowling Green. So Coach might take a little side trip, have the bus stop in the ice arena, be able to get in.
Yeah.
Fit that in now.
No real question.
Good to know.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much. You're welcome to head back to the locker room, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
a little bit with the coach.
Isn't that awful sweet? They're asking if they should stay and get my back here. You can go ahead and leave it.
Who wants to start it off with the coach? Go ahead.
Coach, they must be afraid we're going to come after you or something.
No, I just think the fact that I've had their back all year long, that, you know, they want to make sure that I'm taken care of, and I appreciate that.
How have you tried to replicate Griner in practice? Is there a way to do that, or, I mean...
There's no way. There's absolutely no way to emulate her, and I did mention the fact that Greg Samoji on our men's team would probably be the closest thing that we've seen on campus, you know, to Brittany Griner. So, no, we've went about our week the same way that you always do. I don't know if you can, you know, make it a lot of changes in 2 or 3 days to get ready for what she actually brings to the court.
Coach, do you go into the game telling the kids this is a no-lose situation maybe, and take your swings and see what happens?
You know what, I want our kids to be so confident that they actually believe they have a chance to win. And that's just I mean, that's just my personality. I want them to have the same, because at the end of the day, they're going to give the effort, and I understand that. And, you know, we might give our best game and still not have a chance to win, but I want these kids to go out there and enjoy the opportunity, but also, you know, like someone else mentioned, if you can keep it close, if you can just keep it close, anything can happen.
Coach, besides Grinder, just in general, what maybe impresses you in scouting Baylor?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, it's the role players that always come up big for them. You know, Destiny Williams is a monster on the weak side because Griner, you know, she demands a double team, a triple team. And then if Odyssey Sims gets hot, you know, it's over with. And I think, but just watching a lot of film, that's what teams just take a chance on of them missing outside shots and, you know, knowing that Griner's going to get 25, 30, you know, on any given night. But you have to do a good job, again, in transition defense and blocking out, or Williams will be there to hurt you as well.
Coach John Wagner from the Toledo Blade. You heard me ask the ladies about the physical trip here.
Right.
Will you talk a little bit about the route that your team took, especially coming back and having to win the tournament basically to get here?
Well, again, you know, my first year, I wanted to build a program and not just a team. And we had a special group of young women that bought into that. And so I knew early it could be ugly, you know, as you're putting in a new style of play, a new system, a whole new mindset. But what I kept promising them, if they would just buy into the system and how I wanted things done, that we could peak at the right time. And they did that. You have to give all the credit to the kids, you know, and to buy into, you know, what we wanted to do.
Coach Jack Carl from here in town. You're the fourth team to come in here today, and I think we've seen the most smiles out of you and all your girls, more than maybe the other three teams put together. I may be exaggerating a little bit, but is that the kind of attitude that you're playing with now? You're playing, like you say, this is your first year. You're playing with house money if we made it to the NCAA tournament. Is that kind of the attitude that you've taken?
No, I never want them to be satisfied that we're just here. You know, that's not my personality. And when I took this job, my expectations from my administration was to take it to another level and not just be happy that you're at the NCAA. So I don't want that to come across at all to, you know, you guys or the kids. But the fact that we had a tough trip to get here, you know, just 15 losses throughout the year, that's a grinding season. I think most losses of anyone in the tournament, or maybe the second loss. So these kids have earned the fact to enjoy it a little bit. But when we walk on the court, it's okay to be split personality, and we probably will have no smiles until either after the game or maybe not. Thank you.
Coach, going back to that point in the season where you were sitting at 8-13, what helped to turn it around? The kids said things just started clicking. Were there any sit-down talks or any powwows, anything like that?
You know, that's the amazing thing. I was an assistant for 16 years, and there's a lot of those powwows, team meeting, you know, let's get together and figure it out. We had 0 team meetings this year. And again, that's the credit of the type of kids that I inherited, you know, just their mindset, and also to my staff that helped keep everyone together. But no, we never strayed from what we wanted to do. And again, the kids, knowing my background, my pedigree, where I came from, I think they had ultimate respect that I could help get them to this ultimate position of playing in the NCAA.
Coach, your background, Kansas State, correct?
Yes, I did play there a long time ago.
Right. But what did you get from that? You know, it's not a connection since it was the Big 8 back then, but you know, you're playing a team from the Big 12, kind of the same background a little bit. Does that bring anything, or is that way too far and fast?
No, I mean, I had a great coach there, and Brian Agler, you know, that's head coach of the Seattle Storm. So I took a little bit of his personality, you know, along with Vivian Stringer's mindset, and then, you know, the late Kurt Butke. So you know, that's my background, and, you know, they're all great coaches in their own right, but I think a lot of it's just that mental toughness side of things that, you know, is carried over to the personality of this team. I played for Kurt Butke at Trinity Valley, and we won the first national championship there.
Anything else for the coach? Coach, anything you'd like to add?
It's March Madness. That's all I have. Thank you.
Great,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you very much.